Welcome to Discussion Sentai Loserger. I'm Loser Blue,
And I'm Loser Yellow.
and this is a podcast where we discuss the newest episodes of Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. Today we're going to be talking about Kamen Rider Zeztz, episode 9, and due to circumstances, we will not actually be discussing Gozyuger episode 37, but we'll talk about those circumstances after we talk about Rider. So, Zeztz episode 9. What'd you think of it, Yellow?
Zed's episode 9 was pretty interesting. A lot of information was given to us, especially in the tail end of this episode. And I'm starting to notice a lot of the capsums, or specifically recovery, is pretty OP.
Yeah. Well, the fact that recovery is not just like a healing ability, it's like repairing any kind of damage
Yeah.
or just being able to like revert things to a previous state, or something like that. Who knows? And that's why it's important. And you see Nox, his sword, it has like a melted spot on the handle,
Yes.
and I think it's pretty obvious that he's going to use recovery on that to fix the sword, and that'll be like his transformation device. Like he won't have a belt, it'll be a sword, and I think he's
Mhm.
going to be like our secondary rider. So I think like that feels pretty obvious. It's like a really blatant spot on his sword that looks damaged, and he
It's like,
wants
oh,
the
look at
recovery
this
thing.
spot. I wonder if a capsum could fit into there or something.
It does look like a circle that you like an indent that you could put something in, assuming it
Yeah.
got fixed, which it will.
Yeah, probably next episode.
Probably. But anyway, that's jumping very far into the episode. If we talk about, let's go back to the beginning. At the beginning of this episode, the main character comes back to life
Yeah.
immediately.
It doesn't stay dead long.
No, I'm not surprised at all. And you know what? There's literally a healing device there that anyone can use, and Nem uses it to bring him back to life. It makes sense. I'm not surprised by it at all. And the main like plot of the episode with the chef and the restaurant
Yeah.
is fine. I wasn't super into it. We barely talked to the chef like at all, so I never really cared about his character.
Yeah, in this episode, he was not really present on account of, being in the hospital, dying in bed or something.
Yeah,
Not due to the poison, just because of general illness or being
yeah.
old.
I will say this episode is starting the what's it? The nightmares. I don't really get what was going on with that. Like, how is this his secret desire? Right? It didn't make a lot of sense to me. His desire is for his students to like take over, to
Yes.
learn and become better. And that's why he's so hard on them. And somehow this turns into poisoning the food at the restaurant, mess with them. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all. Like, I understand his whole goal was to pass the restaurant on to the next generation. But even if the character's motivations or like the reasoning for the nightmare existing is that he's tough on them, how does that manifest into poison?
I really feel like the nightmares would make a lot more sense if they were like your deepest fears instead of your secret desires,
Yeah.
right? Because if it was his deepest fear is that something happens to his students and it can't pass on the recipes and the restaurant gets shut down due to problems, that all makes a lot more sense with
Yeah.
biological weapon. And that works with a lot of the other ones too. The fear of flying's one. It threw her out a window, right?
Yeah.
At one point in that episode. So the secret desire thing has always felt a little iffy. Some of them work. The prison one I felt worked quite well because it was kind of like keeping Nem like safe and with him in the
Yep.
prison. Like that was his secret desire. That made sense. But this one felt a bit off. And ultimately, it's fine. The main thing we come to in this episode is actually kind of more learning about dreams and Nox and stuff like that. The actual episodic chef thing is just kind of whatever. He's there.
Yeah, he exists.
We get to see what's her name? Nasuka? Is that
Nasuka,
the
yeah.
Nasuka, the female detective?
Yes.
She is definitely far more on like Fujimi's side than ever. Like she's coming around to liking him and wanting to truly help him as opposed to just getting exasperated at him. Which is good. I like that. I want them to have like a good partnership. I think that would be great.
Well, there needs to be a pretty good partner dynamic, given what happened with his previous partner going missing.
Yeah, I want them to have like a solid partner dynamic so that in a sense of he's trying to make up for he probably feels failing his previous partner, and she's trying to prove herself and kind of fill that role.
Yeah.
So that's all good. I like that.
But how did you like all the English speaking from the foreign diplomats that very much weren't from an English speaking country?
I mean, they just needed a language, and a lot English is used a lot in like business deals and stuff. I don't know, so it's fine. Uh, it's funny. It's always weird to hear English. Whenever I hear it, it throws me off. But it made some sense there.
What I did find is pretty cool this episode that I hope gets used more often is that the window in the hideout is some sort of teleporter.
Yeah, I mean we've seen it used before, but not often. I think only one time before. But yeah, he
Must
can
have
use
missed
it
it
to
that
like.
time.
Yeah, it happened once. I'm forgetting exactly when, but it has happened. He has used like the telephone, like dialer, and then gotten on the bike and moved. I think it allows him to go anywhere in the dream that I guess he knows about. Like he didn't originally know about the original restaurant, so he didn't know to go there to find the door.
Right.
So now he did, so he could go and do that.
Yeah, you found the doors.
Woots and oh, finding the doors feels really pointless. I'm not gonna lie. What he found was the dead dignitaries, right?
Yeah.
Like it was the ambassador and like the Japanese ambassador guy just dead. It's like okay, woot. The
I
thing
already knew
knew
this was
was
gonna
gonna happen.
happen.
Yeah, it was like this didn't help at all. But okay, fine. Oh well, I guess I gotta find the doors. I mean, okay. The important thing was finding the book, right? When they
Yeah.
went there, they found the recipe book, and that was important, not the doors.
Yeah.
But they solved it. I'm surprised that after they like beat the monster, the guys, stopped being poisoned. They were like, "Wow, this is really delicious." It almost was killing me for a minute there, but I'm just gonna forget that ever happened.
Well, the food was so good. Like it was worth all the pain, really.
Truly,
The
I don't know
royal
if
sauce and all that.
the royal sauce, which I still don't think looks good. But then we get to like the actual like fight against biological weapon. Do they have names?
I don't think so.
Is he just like the
Nightmare?
poison nightmare? I don't know. I'd have to look it up later what their
It's
like
the
official names
bioweapon
are.
nightmare or something. You can
Bioweapon
check the
nightmare.
Wikia at some point.
I'm just not sure if they have like official names, or at least they're never stated. But whatever. We get the fight, and he mostly uses recovery in this fight. Actually, I think he only uses recovery in this whole fight.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't use any other forms.
but we got axe mode for the weapon,
Yeah, we did.
which is cool. I was actually kind of worried that it was only going to be sword mode and gun mode, and I felt that was
Mhm.
going to be kind of lame. I'd like that there's more modes. Whether there'll be any more modes, I don't know. I don't know what other configurations you could do. If there was a way to extend it, you could have like a spear mode or a rod mode, which is
Mhm.
very common in Rider. I'm thinking of like Deno. In Deno, he has sword mode, rod mode, axe mode, and gun mode.
Okay.
And they're actually called that. And this goes back even to like you can see similar things in like Kuga and Agito and stuff like that. It's a very common setup. So we'll see if there's any more. I liked it. I thought it looked cool. And the use of recovery just to tank through the poison is kind of funny. And he did that last episode, but he did it better this time.
Yeah, he's getting more experienced. He knows how to use his tools.
Oh, what was it? I'm thinking of him getting more experienced and better. He scaled down a building in
In
the
real life.
hospital. That was weird. I was it's like, okay, I would not be brave enough to do that.
Well, he had to break out. His sister said no leaving and had to, like, nurses put on security.
I like the there's like a group of doctors and nurses at the door when she's doing that, also doing like the X with their arms
Yeah.
to say you're not allowed to leave. It's just like she coerced them into doing this.
Well, you see, she's very influential as a part of her job at the
Truly.
talent agency or whatever.
But yeah, so and now we get to the big part of the episode, which is this Nox and what Nox is about.
Yes.
I'd
I'm
say,
glad, like, 9 episodes in, we're getting some of these revelations.
yeah. So Nox is Fujimi's old partner that has gone missing
Yes.
while researching black cases. So he got like pulled into the dream world or something like that. We don't know for sure. And now he's like trapped there, is my guess. Because he says that he's a wanderer in dreams, similar
Yes.
to Nem. That said, we have seen him like with Nem and her unconscious body. So he might also be in real life too. But we've just seen him before, like invisible around other people, so
Yeah.
who knows? But yeah, his big thing is he wants the recovery capsum. The recovery capsum is important because it will, I don't know, restore him to reality. I guess maybe that would be my guess. I'm going off of the preview, I believe, where the preview said something about it can be used to like bring someone back to reality. So that's what he wants it for, and also it's going to heal his sword, and
Yeah.
then he's going to be able to transform too. We see in the preview Zeztz using two different forms. One is
Mhm.
another green form with like shields on his arms, and one is a purple form. So there'll be
Okay.
two new capsums next episode based on the preview. I'm curious if Nox will just keep recovery, right?
Mm.
If recovery will be Nox's like base form.
Like, I mean, it's possible. And if he's going to be a villain rider, at least for a while, because I don't see him going full goody good boy yet, having a capsum with a good amount of utility and strength is going to be good for that.
Yeah. I also just think it's interesting for the villain to have the healing power, right? Because it's very not normal. You know, the healing power is not normally a villain power. But giving that to like a villainous rider would be pretty neat. I'd be interested. Obviously, we don't know his full deal yet because we don't know how he got turned into like a dream entity. What
Right.
happened to him and why he's now so evil, because clearly he was a good guy before. And I do think eventually we'll probably get to a point where he starts being good again.
Yeah.
Because we're setting up that he used to be good, now he's evil. We'll probably go back there in some capacity. It'll hopefully take a while. I don't want it to be a straight flip, but
No, I'll give it like another 10 episodes or something. I think that should be fine.
he definitely needs to be a bit villainous for a while. And we also need to know what he wants to accomplish, because we
Yeah.
don't know what he wants to accomplish with the nightmares. Perfectly honest, we don't even know if he's the one making them, right? He could just be facilitating them. He like knows their existence and he's trying to get them to do it to
Hmm.
somehow get back to reality, maybe. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions, and I don't know. I think that's one thing I kind of like about this show is that I'm end of most episodes, at least at the end of every like two-parter, I would say, because there's a lot of two-parters. I'm left going, what's all this about? I want to know more. But it's also revealing things, right?
Yeah.
It's not just an endless series of setups. We do learn things, which is good.
What I will say is that we really need a nightmare to enter the real world again. Like, I know there's the threat of it coming to the real world, but there aren't any real consequences of Zetz not being good enough yet, other than when he failed to stop the bomber in episode 2.
Yeah, we haven't gotten another one coming back to reality. And I do think occasionally they need to succeed. And you know what? If Nox is going to be like a villainous rider, then I would assume his introduction will have them winning, right? He'll be introduced, he'll beat up Zetz in the dream, allow the nightmare to do its thing, and then the next episode in real life, Zetz deals with the guy in real life. Something like that would be good. We'll have to see going forward. So that was our discussion of Zeztz. Episode 9 was a good episode. Answered questions and left us more.
Yeah.
Now we talk about
Why there's no episode of Gozyuger for us this week?
yeah. So there is a scandal going on in Gozyuger's cast. Goju Unicorn's actress Maya seems to be embroiled in some scandals. Now, we are not a news source, and everything we've heard is like secondhand information or translated Japanese tweets. So we don't know the full story. Our information might not be entirely accurate. But it seems there was a scandal with an affair and then some underage drinking from Maya. But again, this is all alleged, and we don't know for sure if any of it like happened or is real or it's just tabloids being weird. But because of that, she seems to be completely scrubbed from the show. She's been like dropped from her talent agency, and the show is just completely ditching her. And the episode this week, she was fully cut out. Like she's out of the opening. They removed her from all non-suit scenes, and I believe the in-suit footage, they had someone else doing the voice lines. So that's a pretty big deal. Because of that, because of all this, the subgroup that we watch the subtitles for has not gotten the episode out yet for reasons of their own. We don't need to get into that, but that's why we're not doing it. That's why we're not talking about it this week. It seems that there might be a break week for Sentai next week to deal with all this. So we'll probably talk about it next week. We will definitely talk about it next week as soon as we can watch the episode. If there is an episode next week too, we will also talk about that episode.
Yeah, it's gonna have a lot of repercussions on the plot of the show. It's been a long time since someone got kicked off the show, especially a main character. Like, from what I understand, the last person to get kicked off a show was Yellow 4 from
Yellow
Bioman.
Yellow 4 and Bioman. Yeah, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I would have to, check every
Because, like, I
single Sentai.
know there was,
But
like, a red that left, but that's because he got, like, a better career. But it wasn't getting kicked off the show.
I don't know if Yellow 4 got kicked off the show. I don't think anyone knows why she left.
From what I heard, she just disappeared, or she was hard to work with, but also that is just hearsay from, like, 3-4 decades ago.
The episode where Yellow 4 leaves that show is weird. It's like an actual funeral for her, just in suit because they can't get the actress there. Super odd. I hope that doesn't happen with this show with Gozyuger. But yeah, so as far as I know, Gozyuger is filmed pretty far in advance. So there's been a lot of episodes that they will now have to like completely like butcher and probably do a bunch of reshoots in order
Yeah,
to make anything make sense. Probably with a new actress to take over that role.
it's gonna be hard, but like the best situation here is find a lookalike or something made them like have a different appearance, because a lot of the story of Gojuger was based around the Calamity and Ray and Unicorn's sister and by extension Rikuo. So I don't know what's gonna go on with that.
It's gonna be difficult. I have no idea. I mean,
What a time for something like this to happen,
yeah,
especially
it's
with all
pretty
those
bad.
rumors of this year being the final year under the Super Sentai banner. Because I've been hearing
Yeah,
rumors that it's rebranding as Universe Warriors next year.
yeah, I have heard about the rebrand. Let's not talk about the rebrand because there's been no official announcement about that at
No,
all.
none.
So
It's all like bad translations and
it's
stuff like
just
that, just
it's
like
just
this.
speculation because we haven't had the what's it called
We haven't had
yet.
the release.
Well, we haven't had like the trademark or anything like that.
Yeah, that hasn't come out. And usually it comes out by now.
Yeah.
Like it has
So
come out later. Like we've had years where it comes out first week of December, and I'm
yeah,
looking forward to
it's
that.
we'll see. But again, the rebrand's not important in this particular instance, but it is a bad time for this to happen for sure. Because we're nearing the climax of the show. It's was shot forever ago, and now they have to completely change everything. I mean, the easiest thing. I mean, obviously, the easiest thing would you said a lookalike, but I doubt they'll do that.
No, they won't.
If you could just swap her with the sister, say that she got like kidnapped by the Calamity, and then the sister woke up and takes over the ring. That could maybe work if the Calamity is going to actually be important. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the episode that we are not watching has nothing to do with that. It's mostly it's a Polar episode to my knowledge.
Oh yay, Polar and my boy Barracuda.
Yeah, you really hate Barracuda. So that has nothing to do with it, but I have seen shots and scenes from the Raws for this, and yeah, Unicorn is like not in the episode at all, outside of when they're actually like fighting in suit, which is insane. But anyway, I don't actually have much more to say on this outside of there's a good chance this could completely ruin the show.
Yeah, and that's really unfortunate, considering I've also heard a lot of people say that Gozyuger is one of the weaker shows. Like, I haven't had a problem with it, so.
I mean, I've been quite enjoying Gozyuger, but it is definitely far from like a very strong show. I would
Yeah.
not, compared to some of the like stronger Sentais out there, it does not contend. And even compared to some ones that came pretty recently, I don't know. I really liked King Ozier. King Ozier was a very fun show. I enjoyed it a lot, and it actually has kind of like a plot and good characters, which Gozyuger is not as good. But they're not all going to be winners. I still say it's a very enjoyable show, at least up to this point. We'll see going forwards.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, that's all I have.
Well, my closing statement is, golly gee, Toei, I really, really hope you didn't have Unicorn winning. I hope you didn't film a whole bunch and go under that that idea.
I mean, based on what I'm hearing, episode 38 was supposed to be a Sumino like heavy episode, like it was a focus episode for the character. So I can definitely see why they might take a break next week.
Yeah.
Okay, well, with that dour note of who knows what's going to go on with this series, if you liked our discussion of this episode and this non-episode, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. It'd be greatly appreciated. We're still a pretty new channel. Anyway, I've been Loser Blue.
And I've been Loser Yellow.
And we'll see you next week.